welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Poker Central Podcast, episode 178.
You have a LinkedIn account or no?
I do have a LinkedIn account, yeah.
You ever use it?
Yeah. No, I don't, because I have a job, and I love my job, and part of my job is to do this podcast
I'm
with
not
you.
a big LinkedIn.
I should get paid a lot more to sit here with you every week, that's for sure. To sit through this misery, which is basically like sort of therapy for you, and I'm like here like trying to keep you on the straight and narrow, is really fucking taxing on my mind.
Yeah, well, we're going to have your solo show ready soon. Don't you worry, pal.
And then I can just talk by myself. All right, today on the show, we're going to get into Brent's adventure on the Peloton once again. We're going to talk about the Australian Poker Open, whether Phil Galfond should throw the flag, or what is it, wave the white flag on the Galfond Challenge. We're going to dive into some awards. The actual official nominees have been announced. And perhaps we'll have some good advice on some Super Bowl prop bets. So, Brent, let's start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You told me a worrisome tale about your behind being in some trouble with relation to your exploits on the Peloton machine.
Well, that's the thing. So, now that I'm really fit,
Right.
which
so fit.
I've taken 5 rides on the exercise bike, it starting to hurt my butt pretty bad.
Right.
Like, I don't like it at all. It you get about 20 minutes in, and it feels like numbing sort of, and I don't like that, Remko. I mean, it's not a. Is that what bikers go through?
I mean, the first couple of weeks you have some saddle soreness.
No.
And then the muscles around sort of tighten up, and you get better.
I stay on there, and I try and hop up, or you're just standing on there, and you're doing the thing, climbing the hill, turn up the resistance. But then I can only do that for like 30 seconds, and then I just have to call it quits. Do they make a softer seat? Can you get like a gel seat? When I was a kid, they made the gel pad, so every time you sat down, you actually enjoyed sitting on your fucking bike. Now, when I sit on this Peloton, I don't enjoy it, Remko.
Well, the thing is that once you get used to this saddle, it's much more comfortable than a gel saddle. But that takes a while. I mean, I know you have zero discipline or perseverance of any kind with anything, clearly indicative of your mental and physical state right now. So I'm worried for you. This might be the last time you've ever on the bike.
Something else, though, also involving my personal life.
Oh.
I discovered a brand new podcast. Can we talk about other podcasts on our podcast?
I mean,
it's not breaking a rule. Or
no,
anything,
of course not.
So this guy, he's one. I think he's my hero. You ever heard of Bob Menery?
Never heard of him.
You have heard of Bob Menery. If you haven't heard of Bob Menery, I guarantee you've seen or heard him on Instagram and didn't realize who it was.
Okay.
But he does these sort of short videos, commentary videos, where he breaks down highlights, and he is one of the greatest broadcasting voices maybe on the planet. But he's vulgar as shit.
Okay.
So everything is, holy fuck, and he's got this partner, Peter, and oh my God, hit him right in the dick. So he's got this great voice. I'm not doing him justice.
Okay.
But take a look at him on Instagram. Bob Menery, I think is his name.
Right.
I had no idea he had a podcast. So I'm driving to the studio to do commentary for an Australian event a few days ago as we kick off Australian Poker Open, right?
Right.
Okay, I want to find something to listen to that's reasonable. I want a little sports, a little humor. Let me load up, see what's out there. Bob Menery, fucking perfect. First episode, play. Looks like it was filmed in January, just a few weeks ago. Gets right into it. He's in Las Vegas for New Year's, and he sits down at a Keno machine.
Wow.
I mean, I'm already sold. Puts $300 inside what he calls a grandmother's machine, and he off to the races. He's going to start gambling, play some Keno, smashing away. He picks out 7 numbers. Next thing you know, he's distracted, not looking at Keno, because how do you watch Keno? You can't really pay attention. You're looking everywhere else. That's why I love it. And hits a $17,000 jackpot.
What?
And I am fucking hooked on the Bob Menery podcast. Remko, I can't make this shit up. 2 minutes later, he talks about who the upcoming guest is going to be on the podcast, and it's Antonio Esfandiari.
What?
How does that happen?
We can't even get him on the podcast.
Antonio doesn't know how to use the internet.
No.
He doesn't know how to use his email. He actually has to schedule time to go to his office to log into his email, which his assistant has to log him in to get him in there to see what's going on in his life, who's trying to get a hold of him. He has no idea how to use Twitter. He's told me this personally. He doesn't know how to do it on his phone. He doesn't have it on there. And all of a sudden, he shows up on the Bob Menery podcast. How the fuck is that even a thing?
What was the biggest takeaway from this show? Did you learn anything new about Antonio?
No, I mean, pretty much all the stuff I knew about Antonio because I'm, I'm balls deep in the poker industry. I know all these stories. There was a little Phil Ivey story that he told about being on an airplane, about, gambling and being a degenerate. That was great. Anytime you get an Ivey story, that's going to be a home run. They talked about the Kevin Hart fight, and it was a great. We asked him about how much money he made, and I think he said, "Oh, it was a nice appetizer," or whatever his answer was, something like that. He said the same sort of thing to Bob and the boys.
He's always like that, though.
Right? Yeah, he won't give you
which is smart, but also kind of annoying because he has. He has like stuff that's juicy enough to write a book,
right?
But he's obviously playing.
You've got some issues with Antonio, huh?
No, I mean the one thing that
I mentioned his name earlier, and you just went off. You said, "I don't want to fucking talk about that guy." Well, what's wrong with Antonio?
Antonio and I did a podcast, which was a tremendous podcast, and it was my mistake. My laptop crashed right as we were ending the recording, so I felt horrible. I'd never in my whole podcasting life lost a show. Yeah. But that show went.
You lost the Antonio show. So you blame him for that?
No, not at all.
That's why you hold a grudge?
I hate that. No, I hold a grudge for the fact that was such a good podcast that we did. He was so open. He revealed so many cool things. Yeah. And I never got another chance to do it again. So a piece of my heart is broken for the fact that a good story went missing. So that's kind of sucks. So,
yeah, it does suck.
Antonio, if you're watching, I know you're watching. We got to do the show again.
I messaged
really
Antonio
get back
about the podcast. Like, dude, you have to tell me these things, man.
Right.
Like when you're going to go on a Bob Menery podcast or be involved with Bob Menery, please let us know. I mean, we can at least link up Poker Central and say, hey, holy shit, Antonio's doing this podcast, blah, blah, blah. Something fun, right? He said, oh, is that a big deal? Like, yes, Antonio, that's a big deal. That's a big fucking deal. Yeah.
Wait, didn't he also talk about the first book that got him into poker?
Oh my God. Well, you listened.
I heard that
segment,
part.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Lee Jones.
Winning low limit hold'em.
Right, but nobody was reading books at the time. I mean, there was very few avid poker readers, right?
Back in the day, that was sort of the entry point for everyone.
Right.
If you discovered poker and then you wanted to get into it, the first thing you would do is go buy a book.
Yeah, that's true.
What was your first book?
That's true. Super System.
Super System?
Yeah, I mean, I started right with Doyle.
Wow.
I remember falling in love with poker at my local bar where I'd play every Wednesday night in a $20 tournament. I thought, this is fucking great. I need to learn how to play poker. And then I was losing money. I'd come home and I'd deposit, use my mom's credit card and play on Party Poker or whatever the site was. Lose $50 there. Like, God, I want to get good at this game. How do I do it? Of course, I look up. I find Super System, Doyle Brunson. I'll start there. I read the whole thing, front to back. Wow. And then I slowly, surely developed my craft.
And then you got into Keno and
now I lost every penny I ever made.
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck on this fucking podcast with you.
I know, it's misery. Let us know in the chat if you're watching this live on YouTube, and for the people listening to this at home on their favorite podcasting devices, please know that every Monday we are live with this podcast on YouTube. Let us know in the chat what your first poker book was and when you started reading and when you started getting into the game. Mine was Hold'em for Advanced Players by David Sklansky, and I thought of myself as such a smart person for starting with a book that was called For Advanced Players, which I thought was hilarious. Obviously, I still have this book. It's at my parents' house. And what I did back then, which I didn't remember, but I saw the book when I last visited, I made so many notes in that book with like a marker and like a pen and all sorts of things. And I thought I had solved the game after reading that book.
Yeah.
That was my first foray into the game.
Okay.
And then Harrington on Hold'em, I got that next to learn about the M and the shoving ranges. Back when it was still normal to go all in with
I read those.
20 bigs.
Yeah, those are good books.
Yeah, definitely.
At the time, that was way ahead of its
That was a gospel.
time.
Yeah, right.
Time.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so low limit for low limit hold'em, winning at low limit hold. Lee Jones, that was the first book Antonio read.
Sure.
Brent, what were you up to this weekend? Did you do anything fun? Did you get a chance to do anything fun?
Well, I've been working, Remko, nonstop. I'm doing I did the Aussie Millions Main Event and the 100K Challenge, which, by the way, let's go there.
Yeah, okay.
Let's jump right into the Aussie Millions because this was my first plunge into the world of Twitch.
Right.
Bro, it's fantastic.
You said you hate Twitch.
I thought I hated Twitch. I did. I thought I hated Twitch, and then I did Twitch with Jason Somerville and Joe Stapleton.
Right.
And
I thought you hated Joe Stapleton,
all of the fans
too.
that were out there. I love Joe Stapleton. Oh, my God. He's so funny. Are you kidding me?
Wait, so you...
It's me.
They've gotten to you.
Yeah, I'm on the Twitch side of things. So now, the numbers, by the way, were just off the fucking charts. We had 15,000 people watching us at one time.
Wow.
we never dipped below, I don't think, 3,500 at a time. I mean, you're talking, Remko, we did 44 hours of streams. I did 44. There was actually 2 additional hours that Jamie Kerstetter and Jason Somerville did on the first day because I had to leave early because I wanted to see my fucking kids before they went to school because I'm not seeing my family this whole time. Right? We started 6 p.m. at night. I didn't get home until 7, 8 a.m. every day the next day. The final day of the main event, I didn't get home until 10 in the morning.
Wow. How do you stay awake? I'm being serious right now. I'm in bed by 10 p.m. every night.
Yeah. I mean, it was I think that's what it was, though, with just the audience, Twitch, so many fans asking great questions, just making ridiculous comments.
Right.
And then Joe Stapleton being so funny right in the middle of Jason and I, who Jason just has this natural energy.
Right.
He just carries you through the show. And we sort of just fed off of each other. I may have had more fun doing that broadcast than perhaps any broadcast I've ever done with these guys. I mean, it was
wow.
And we're talking, again, 44 hours, 3 straight days.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How many energy drinks did you go through in that stretch?
I'm not going to lie, I was pounding the caffeine.
Yeah.
I was on the Monster, I was on the Red Bull. We would order dinner at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I ate like shit, which I know that doesn't surprise you.
No.
And yeah, I see in the chat, Damian Withers is out there putting out the bananas. That was my thing. It's still my thing on Twitch. I would say, this is bananas anytime a big hand would develop. Right. And then the Twitch, the emotes, they call them.
Yeah.
Whole thing would just load up with all this shit. And I was going crazy watching this. Like, this is incredible. You know, all these people going bananas.
I feel like in 44 hours,
yeah,
you were brought up to speed on the culture of the young people these days.
All I've seen, and I'm not okay. Listen, I don't want to say bad things about people, and I know I sort of put my foot in my mouth all the time.
So Brent Hanks talks shit about everyone behind everyone's back all the time. Then the cameras come on and he slows down. Okay, continue.
That's not true.
That's true.
I mean, certain people, if I don't like them, like, for example, well, we'll get into this. Yeah, there are some people on Twitter right now that are just like, what the fuck is your problem?
Okay,
man? You know?
Okay.
Anyway, we'll get into this. So where was I going with this? I don't even remember.
You were talking about Twitch chat and how you were interacting with the people and the fans and how much you were enjoying that.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going.
Emojis. Are you an emoji guy now?
Big emotes guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love the emotes. Yeah. I had something to say, and I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Wow,
okay.
Good. Probably for the better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Aussie Millions wrapped up. Cale Burns winning that high roller, donating a big chunk of that.
What a special story that was.
To charity, yeah.
He gets inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
29 years young. He
really
and
young.
Lynn Gilmartin. And then he follows that up by winning the 100K challenge, which is the most prestigious high roller at the Aussie Millions by a mile.
Yep.
There were a ton of entries. I want to say there were 50 plus.
54.
Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So to win that, sort of in his home country, what that country's endured, what they're going through, I just thought that was just a tremendous story.
Yeah, beating Alex Fox on Heads Up, who continues to just do it time and time again. Crazy.
Right.
Aaron Van Blarcom.
Yeah, AVB.
Introduced me to him. Party Poker, Bahamas, he was hot. Then, of course, Aussie Millions, he was hot. And now Australian Poker Open, once again.
Guy just keeps winning.
Who is this guy?
AVB, Aaron Van Blarcom. I believe he came from Texas. Now he resides somewhere in Miami, plays a ton of cash games. I think he's got some sort of business going on Texas. Can't really find out what that business is. The rule of thumb there is if you can't figure out a business on the surface level, just stop digging.
Yeah.
Just keep looking. It's probably something you don't want to know about, Remko. You could get killed if you look any further. So let's just lay off of that. AVB.
He probably owns a grocery store or something.
Yeah. Big-time car wash guy. Yeah. I mean, just a great story. Again, his 2019 campaign early on now into 2020. He's at our current final table today, which will be live on Poker Go tonight, and the 25K high roller at the Australian Poker Open.
I mean, I'm just so impressed with him. Seemingly coming out of nowhere and then having these big results in these really, really tough fields because Bryn Kenny gets 4th, Christopher Soiza gets 5th, Sam Grafton 6th, and Timothy Adams, who's also at today's final table, finished in 7th in the 100K in Australia. One of the biggest 100Ks they've ever had there.
Did you see the controversy with the Aussie Millions main event? What happened?
I mean...
I shouldn't say controversy, but did you see the
guy who showed up late, half an hour late?
Okay, so that his name was Tai Huang.
Yeah,
and he finished runner-up.
Yeah, he did.
Now, what I love about the Aussie Millions, you actually discussed chops right there. We had the stream rolling the entire time. You heard the conversation of the chop. So these 3 guys, Ghost Pepper, I call him, the eventual winner, which was Juan, and then Tai Huang, who's out of Vietnam. Another great story again. He was now set the record for the largest cash ever in the history of Vietnam. I think he's now number 1 or definitely 2 on the money list all time there. They go to take a break to discuss numbers.
Right.
The guy that ended up winning starts belittling this guy from Vietnam, saying
legit on the spot.
I've read quotes like there's video out there saying you're a terrible player, you're the worst player out of all of us. You've got you've got your biggest cash is $5,000. Wow. I've seen you play. You're a terrible player. This is a great deal. This is a great deal. And Tai Huang wasn't having it, man. He said, "No, we fucking play. We play." So right away he eliminates this other guy, Ghost Pepper. Or no, I'm sorry, that was a strange elimination as well. But Ghost Pepper goes out. Gets heads up.
But I thought they made a three-way deal. Was it heads up deal?
They did. It was $1.3 million, $1.3 million, and then the guy that got third actually got $1 million.
Right.
So all of them took over $1 million home. Now,
wait. So you're saying he was calling him out,
but
they still
made the deal. But then they wanted he wanted the trophy. The guy that was running his mouth said he wanted the trophy really bad.
Right.
It got ugly, man. Like I felt bad for this guy Huang, and then I was like, wait a minute, he just got $1.3 million. You can't feel too bad, right?
Right.
Then they start playing heads up, which proceeded for about 5 hours back and forth. Huang
5 hours
embarrassed this guy.
Really?
I mean, he just completely ripped him apart, got max value in all of his value hands. All of his bluffs went through. He dwindled him down to 7 big blinds, and then the unthinkable happened. And you know how tournament poker is, especially the variance. Wan won it all in with like ace-7 versus king-8, ace high held. Then he got in ace-9 to ace-queen, ace-9-1 for a big double up, and then he gets in for the final hand with a slight chip lead. He gets in ace-10 versus ace-queen. This was back-to-back hands where this guy's ace-queen went down, and he won. He hit a 10 on the river, as dramatic fashion as you could possibly have in a heads-up poker situation for this major.
So was everyone in the chat, including you guys, secretly rooting for Huang to win this?
Yeah,
because of that banter, because
of that
negativity.
We weren't really that secretive about it, but it was hard to feel good about the other guy winning because of that conversation.
Wow.
But then you also, Somerville did such a great job of sort of getting inside the mind of the eventual winner, and all the adrenaline, what you're feeling in the moment when you go to a chop. He was the chip leader. Feels untouchable. You've got all this money locked up. You got your friends and family there. He's a local. You got your wife there. It's hard to not feel proud in the moment, right? So could he have said some things differently? Yeah, definitely. But it is what it is.
So have you been in situations with regards to chops where you're trying to explain to someone, perhaps in a more kind way, that, look, you're out of your league here. I'm going to fucking kill you. That sort of vibe? Or do you don't make chops?
I mean, live, no, there just wasn't. But I remember an online score that I had where I was in the chat box and I was like, nah, I want more because I feel like I'm a better player. But that's just pretty common for especially the online days,
right?
On Poker Stars. But no, you don't hear. First of all, you don't really see or hear about chops often, especially in the States. World Series of Poker, they don't help out with chops. World Poker Tour, you don't know about them; they're off camera, right? So you just don't see it. The fact that it was all done on stream. That shit was cool. That was really cool. You never hear about. I think every single tour should be facilitating and honoring chops like this.
100% agree. I think that's one of the things that can make that environment much safer at the top, because people are always going to try to make deals anyway, especially if it's like 3 or 4 guys that aren't, world beaters.
Right.
Then that's going to be a lot of money for them. So obviously you're going to want to make a deal because the payouts are still very top-heavy in all these big events. So 15-hour stream, Vincent won, takes down the Aussie Millions Main Event. Obviously a huge score. His name will be, on everyone's radar again next year when this event comes back around. Erik Seidel, also at this final table, finishing in 5th place, taking home more than $250,000 US.
Seidel, by the way, has won over $6 million in Australia.
I was going to say, the Pacific region has been very kind to him.
He just absolutely crushes Australia. Some of his biggest results have happened there. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, so he's off to a really hot start this year. So let's walk through this real quick.
Okay.
The 250K, I mean, this was in November, but still, it's very recent. November, 250K Super High Roller Bowl, Bahamas. He gets 4th for $1.2 million. Then Aussie Millions, has 3 scores, 1 small cash in the 10K PLO, but he also finishes 8th in the 50K challenge. He finishes 5th in the main event, and then now he is at the Australian Poker Open, the 10K.
And he just final tabled the Pot Limit Omaha event yesterday.
Yeah.
First one out, he was short.
Yeah.
But he came in there and he final tabled an event with 4 cards.
So is Erik Seidel back?
No, yeah. Seidel never left. That's what's remarkable about a guy like Erik Seidel. he's always been playing, man. There was a little time where he took some time off from some of the high rollers, but not that much. He probably went and studied in the lab, does whatever Seidel does. And yeah, he's been around.
Whenever I dive deep into like my little research mode about health and whatever else you can get into, people always say that as you get older, your brain is not as sharp, is not as fast anymore. How is it possible that Seidel can still compete? Is he just like superhuman smart? Is he studying harder than everyone else? How does he still do it at this age?
I don't know. Is that true about the brain? I thought a lot of people are really sharp.
I mean, look at yourself. You can't do anything anymore.
Well, I never was sharp to begin with.
Well, you have a 7-1 record playing heads up.
Yeah, well,
I was shocked to hear that.
That's what how stupid people were at poker back in the day. Now everyone is so good. So everyone is so good.
So you didn't get worse; they just got better.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I feel like people their minds stay very sharp. I think it's the physical stuff that slows down. Maybe not the mind until you're fucking like really elderly.
Yeah, but I mean, Seidel is one of the few players.
I don't trust your research in health. By the way, I'm just going to let the record state that
That's
I think
fine.
you're a very
That's
poor
fine.
source of.
I just know for a fact that Erik Seidel is one of the few, maybe the only guy in his 60s who is still keeping up with the GTO guys in this kind of way.
There's really no other 60-year-old even playing.
No,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
He's the only guy that's out there. I mean, I would argue that a guy like Dan Shack plays from time to time. But yeah, there's just not that crowd, and there's no real appetite for it either. It's show me a 60-year-old playing all these other tournaments out there, even at the World Series 10Ks.
Right.
There's just not that many.
Seidel loves it, clearly.
A lot of them are playing cash.
Yeah, and he's also into boogie boarding. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, a lot. You want me to be Seidel?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I started working a little bit on boogie boarding. My two favorite hobbies are boogie boarding and microwave popcorn.
Beautiful. I'm very happy that Erik Seidel is
I'm
part
working
of the
on the
broadcast.
Seidel.
It's good.
Yeah.
Do you practice in the car when you drive home?
No, I just started doing it during the Aussie Millions on Twitch. And we were so fucking delirious, like 12 hours in, that I just dropped the out of nowhere. I said, I think I can pull off a Seidel voice, so I just went for it.
Can you still do Dan Shack?
No, not right now. My voice isn't deep enough. I don't know what's going on.
You're on the right mindset.
I think my larynx needs a workout.
What is that?
Something with your mouth or your throat, I think, Remko.
Never heard of that.
No.
As a foreigner, I will politely just hide behind that.
Yeah.
All right, Phil Galfond. Is it time to give up in the Phil Galfond challenge, Brent? He is down almost $400,000 after playing only a fraction of the total hands that he is set out to play against Venividi. Just to get the total stats here, 3,234 hands played. He's down 327,000 euros, which is roughly 360,000 US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Of the total 25,000 hands. That means that he's losing 100 euros, because they're playing in euros, 100 euros per hand playing 100 to 200 PLO.
Yeah.
Should he throw the towel?
Well, my thoughts after watching roughly 2.5 minutes of that coverage thus far, and that's only because of I'm sleep deprived and I'm not usually up on time.
Right.
I think A, he got hustled. I think this Venividi guy is probably better than him, and B, the variance. Right? Yeah. I think Galfond must be running like shit. But I think this Venividi guy must be. No one knows who the fuck he is.
Well, Galfond knows who he is. He
does? Is that confirmed?
Yeah. Galfond. I think it was on Joey's podcast where they verified details and stuff before starting to play.
I didn't know that. I thought he was completely anonymous. No one knew who he was.
That would be, if that's really the case, that would be a little bit too tricky for my book. But I mean, this is worrisome, right? 3,000 hands into a 25K challenge.
You think? Yeah, he's getting buried. I mean, this is a disaster. There's a ton of hands left, so maybe he sort of crawls back into this thing. But my God, it is ugly right away. I think it's tremendous for his website. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? You got this guy Run It Once. Oh, my God. The founder of Run It Once is just getting crushed at a clip. You're going to flock. You want to come rush to see this disaster. Everyone can't look away from a car wreck. That's what it is. I'm just watching this thing happen.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Phil Galfond was the best poker player in the world for probably close to a decade, especially when it comes to pot limit Omaha.
Yeah.
I think that this is the jolt that Galfond needed in order to get sharp, in order to get focused, and in order to get locked into both studying and whatever he needs to do in order to get back on top. And I think that he might not win this challenge because he's stuck an absolutely crazy amount of money right now playing 100, 200 PLO. He might not win this challenge. He might lose the 200K in the side bet. But I think this sets him up for a lot of success in the subsequent matches.
It's all part of the plan.
Well, it's probably not part of the plan to lose this much money. Jesus. I think that everyone else coming after this is going to have such a tougher time playing against Galfond. Because think about it. This guy was the best in the world for so many years.
Yeah.
You're not just going to lose that.
Heads up, Portland, Omaha?
I think it's just rust. I think the rust is coming off slowly. I think he's going to make a little bit of a comeback.
Don't you think you should have been using the WD-40 before the match started?
It's true, but it's hard to really be game ready until you get hit in the face. Right? Isn't that what they always say?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting hit right as my good friend Bob. We're good friends now, Bob Menery.
Yeah, of course.
Right in the dick.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I would be worried if I was one of the upcoming challengers in this challenge because Galfond is going to be as motivated as ever to win his money back and to do better.
Who's up next?
Bill Perkins.
Oh, Perky. But they've got a cap, right?
They've got a $400K stop loss or $50K hands, but it's a $1 million to $250K side bet.
Okay.
I mean, Galfond.
So again, to clarify, if Galfond scoops, he could win $400,000 at the stop loss, and then he'd get paid an additional $250.
Yes.
So Perkins can lose $650K.
Yes.
All right, so I don't feel bad about just getting absolutely wrecked by Venividi-licious. What's his name?
Venividi.
Venividi.
Yeah, I think that this is a lost challenge, this first one, but I think this sets him up for success in these subsequent challenges.
Right.
I think Perkins should have negotiated that he wanted to be the first guy up. He would have had a better chance than now after Galfond has played by the end of this challenge, 25,000 hands against a top pro.
Okay.
I think Galfond's going to get sharper and sharper. Chance corner this up next after Bill Perkins. Then it's Galfond's turn. Then it's going to be Action Freak, which I think is going to be
Is that someone we know? Do we know who this Action Freak guy is?
According to following this challenge and reading some of the forum threads on it, Action Freak is the best online PLO player in the world.
But we don't know his name?
We don't know his name.
What the fuck is it with these guys? We don't know their names. We don't know who Venividi-licious is, and we don't know who Action Freak is?
These are the guys that hide behind these screen names because they don't want to pay taxes, obviously, or they don't want to get known. They don't want notoriety. So, whatever they want to do. But apparently this guy's the best in the world. They're going to play 150, 300 PLO.
All right.
For 15K hands, and they have an even side bet. And then closing out the challenge, there's going to be 40 hours of play between Galfond and Brennan Adams, which is going to be in a live setting according to different sources. So that's going to be very interesting. I think this big loss and this big hole that he's in right now is going to help him in subsequent matches. I think Galfond is going to come out on top when it's all said and done across all these matches.
All right, sure. Yeah, I'm with you.
You think so?
I mean, no, I don't. He's almost done $400,000. This is going to be pretty hard to get unstuck.
Yeah, not against this guy, but he's got a lot of matches.
He's got what you're suggesting is that he's gonna sweep Perkins. There's $650,000, right? And then that's how he's gonna land in profit zone.
Well,
that's what you're suggesting.
No, have you been listening? I'm saying this is the training battleground for him to get better, and that's going to help him in the subsequent matches.
You just told me this Action Freak guy is the best player in the world.
Yeah, he's up fourth. We'll get there when we get there. We'll see how this plays out.
What's next?
All right, we have the Australian Poker Open live on PokerGo every single night. If you're a night owl living in North America, this is the perfect viewing experience for you. Is this Australia calling? What's happening? Are you okay?
I'm just reading my messages.
We're doing a podcast right now. They can wait.
So?
Anyway, we have the Australian Poker Open live on PokerGo. Commentary by Jeff Platt and Brent Hanks. Brent, we are on event number 3 tonight.
Yeah.
What's the sort of sense after these first 2 events? Nice turnouts, good vibe, and it seems like a great place to go.
Oh, the turnout is great.
Yeah.
I exceeded my expectations. And I'm on record. I was actually optimistic for the first fucking time that this international event was going to do well.
Right.
I did not feel good about the British Poker Open at all. Obviously, I told you that.
Yep.
I didn't feel great about last year's U.S. Poker Open, which was great. It ended up being a wonderful series. But Australia, I felt pretty good about, man. I really did. I love seeing the local turnout thus far. Today is final table number 3. We've had a different Australian at every single final table. In fact, at event number 1, we had 2. Michael O'Grady, they call him Meek. He finished heads up. He got second place, runner-up to Mike Watson, Mad Dog, as you would call him. You and Mike are good friends, right?
I'm a Mad Dog guy.
Yeah, you're a big Mad Dog guy. So yeah, it's I love seeing the local turnout there. I think that's so important for these events. I think the price points are just right. Starting to get the nice sort of turnouts. We're getting the killers. Obviously, I just mentioned the locals. Tonight, also unique because we have 6 players from 6 different countries represented. So a bit of a smorgasbord, a bit of a melting pot, if you will, Remko, based on players that are at the table. By the way, this guy, Stephen Chidwick, making his first final table.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Chidwick and Timothy Adams headlining the final table tonight. That's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time for all the
Andy
Americans.
Lee is the local
Yes.
that final table this event. He's got like $1.6 million in earnings, so he's obviously a crusher.
Right.
Steve O'Dwyer is the short stack. And then AVB, Aaron Van Blarken, we mentioned him already at the top of the show. He is at this final table. And how about Orp the Turk?
Right.
Orp making his second final table of the Australian Poker Open. I'm on record by also suggesting that I think Orp is going to blow up this year.
Oh, you think so?
He's got $5 million, $6 million in career earnings. I think he's going to triple that at the end of 2020.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah, so we have 3 straight Aussie chip leaders coming into each final table, not one to close it out yet. So Andy Lee could be the one doing it, but of course the stacks are really close at the final table, so you're not going to want to miss the action. This is a 25K buy-in with 49 total entries and 416K up top. That's going to be a tremendous final table to watch. It's also, not the 15-hour stretches of the Aussie Millions.
No,
there's a lot of action.
For our sake, for Jeff and I, it's nice and relaxed. About 4 or 5 hours, final table, and out the door.
Right.
That's a piece of cake. But I did want to mention, too, Chino Ream is playing down there. He's got back-to-back 7th-place finishes, which are cashes.
Yeah.
So look for Chino to make a final table, and things are going to get real exciting.
We got quite a few events still coming up. There's 7 total events at the Australian Poker Open today. The 25K PLO gets underway. Live reporting on Poker Central each and every day of the day one action, so you get prepared for the PokerGo stream the following day. There's more events coming up here at the APO. There's another 25K no limit tomorrow, then a 50K no limit, and a 100K main event. And then at the end of that, we'll know who the Australian Poker Open champion is, who will get a $50,000 prize and a nice trophy. And so far, it's Mike Watson's trophy because he's, of course, leading the way. Andras Nemeth winning event number 2 last night.
Andras Nemeth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's sort of what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but I say all these names right now.
Oh, yeah. You're very good at pronunciations. Is it Mike Watson who's the odds-on favorite, or do you have a feeling about someone?
Well, yeah, he's got to be now, right? Mad Dog, yeah.
He's got the
Andras.
points.
I mean, those two are first and second in points, but I would say it's not a long series, right? It's 7 events?
7 events, yeah.
So, yeah, Mad Dog has to be a pretty big favorite. I would say he's got better than 50% edge, you think, right now?
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, man.
I don't know what the fucking math is. Should we know that?
I thought you were smart.
Isn't there a way we can run these numbers to see who the favorite is?
I mean,
what's the site that what's his nuts does up there in Canada?
What, do we have to have
the guy that's going off on Twitter? Timex?
With Poker Shares.
Poker Shares,
yeah. They should have a price on this. Anyway, go watch that. Go enjoy all that coverage. Brent, the Global Poker Awards, we did not get nominated. We did not make it into the Final Four. Some other podcasts we'll spend no time on the podcast. We are devastated, obviously. There's a few categories I want to pick out here, and I want to get your take on who you think is the most deserving winner in these categories. And these are the ones that
What are we doing now? The awards?
The awards.
Very prestigious.
March
very
6th
special.
At the Poker
You know what they had
Studio.
to hand out? Leg lamps.
What?
Yeah, like the movie Christmas. I would love to win a leg lamp.
What is that?
You've never what?
Explain it to me.
You've never seen A Christmas Story, the movie?
No.
They play it every day on TBS, TNT on Christmas Day, starting Christmas Eve. You've never seen a leg lamp? You don't know what I'm talking about?
I hate Christmas movies. I don't watch Christmas movies.
Go ahead. You take over the awards.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit here.
Cool. Breakout Player of the Year.
I'm not talking. You're doing this whole segment.
No, you got to help me out here. 4 players nominated: Robert Campbell, Ramon Callias, Ben Farrell, and George Wolfe. Is there any argument to be made that it's not Robert Campbell?
George Wolfe.
George Wolfe?
He's got the best name.
Is that the...
I don't know. How does the voting work for the Final Four in the nominations category?
I think there's one part vote by the fans and one part vote by the panel.
Who's the panel?
Those are people that are selected.
Yes. Here we are again. Okay, keep going.
It's different than last year when everyone got the vote in every award.
Yep.
We went over this one last year. Final table performance. William Foxen was the one that you liked the best. Twitter personality. The Final Four have been announced.
Willie Foxen.
Willie Foxen.
You like how it's written William on there?
Yeah, William.
Yeah.
William Alex Foxen.
Yeah.
A Twitter personality. We got Barney Boatman, Jamie Kerstetter, Kitty Kuo, and Kevin Mathers. Is it still Jamie Kerstetter, or do you have a Kitty Kuo?
Jamie, and it's not even close.
All right, so she should get that one, obviously.
I mean, if Slay Dog's going to get the snub for his showers bit, which I thought was extremely strong,
right,
then it's got to be Jamie. Otherwise, I don't know how Slay Dog's not there.
And now the most interesting category, which is only voted on by the top 100 of the GPI, toughest opponent. The 4 nominees are Michael Adamo, or Adamo. I don't know how you say
Adamo.
it. Adamo.
Yep.
Cale Burns, Stephen Chidwick, and Ali Imsirovic.
What is this again?
The toughest opponent award. voted on by the top 100 of the GPI.
And the final four is what again?
Michael Adamo,
Cale
Burns,
Chidwick, Burns,
and Imsirovic. That's interesting.
How did we get there? Did we vote on that too?
I just told you 3 times the top 100 of the GPI vote on this. Are you listening to me?
Did they do the same thing where they voted it down from a list to then the what do they call it? The semifinals?
It was a ranked vote.
And then the 4.
Yeah. Are you?
And now they vote on this again?
Do you even understand what I'm dealing with here?
It's like I told you I wanted you to do this segment.
A toddler in the room. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Who do you think is going to win this? Do you think it's Chidwick's award?
I don't. Chidwick. I don't know who's doing the voting. You need a little context. Is it all? So all 100 players are going to vote for the Final Four again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that way all along.
Wow. I think it needs like a drink or something. This is extremely
Next
hard.
time we do these awards, I just need you to do the whole segment. I can't. I'm out on this one. I don't know.
What's so hard about this? I'm just asking you to pick one.
Chidwick.
It's very, very straightforward. All right, and then this is a category, of course, that I really want your take on. The last one here, Broadcaster of the Year: Jamie Kerstetter, Jeff Platt, Nick Schulman, and Joe Stapleton.
I mean, Nick obviously is just so dynamic, and he probably everyone is going to vote for him. But as far as polished broadcasting background, Jeff Platt literally went to fucking school for this.
Right.
The guy knows he's so sharp in and out. He prepares like no other. And this is I'm not taking shots at anybody else because I know how hard Nick works as well. We've talked about a lot of broadcasting together. But, I sit with Jeff all the time. I see how bad he wants it.
Right.
And I just know that maybe he wants it more than the rest, and I think he deserves it.
Well, we'll see if he can beat Nick Schulman and both Stapes and Jamie Kerstetter. So that's...
Wait a minute. Platt is in the chat talking shit about me, so I'm taking that vote back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going back to Schulman.
Back to Schulman?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've changed
Who's
your
really
mind.
the most, naturally talented one.
Exactly.
Jeff at least has to work hard, and he does work hard. Nick just has a gift.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Check out the full list of nominees on Poker Central. We have an article up with the picks. If you want to make your picks in the chat, let us know who you think is the most deserving this year for these awards.
I still don't get the players one.
You need to shut up. We're done. I'm done with you. The final topic here on the show.
Yeah.
Super Bowl prop bets.
Okay. Oh, now you got my attention.
I know. This is the first time you'll pay attention this whole show. First of all, who do you like in the game? Who do you like to win the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
All over the Chiefs?
That offense, man. I mean, I know it's like the offense versus great defense, and the Niners, that line, ridiculous. They got Sherman running the backfield, but I mean, it's in the secondary. But yeah, the Chiefs, now that they're cooking, you talked about that Phil Galfond sort of getting the rust off.
Right.
Now that the Chiefs are healthy, they're just revving on all cylinders. I think the Chiefs are unstoppable.
So the Chiefs it is then. As far as props, are there any props you like betting on every year? Are you a Gatorade guy? Are you a coin toss guy? Over under on the anthem? Like, what do you sort of like? Do you always fire on these things?
I never really bet the props, but I'm willing to fire this year if you want to lay some bets.
Okay, how about we take sides and we'll just bet no vig against each other.
All right, I have a bookie. I have a little account open. You have one open as well?
I'm looking on.
You send them my way. I'll pick.
Okay, cool. So should we put the money down with Jeff Platt so he can hold on to escrow with Jeff Platt? All right, let's do some things where we can pick some sides. The coin toss. What do you want?
I just want you to know that I'm in a group chat right now with Bob Menery. As we speak, I just got a text from Bob fucking Menery.
Wow.
Right in the dick.
I'm so jealous of you.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. Coin toss. What do you want?
I want tails.
All right, that gives me heads.
I always go tails.
You go tails?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll take heads. Gatorade color. Let me get you the odds because you want to know what you're getting into. Orange plus 400. Yellow plus 250. Blue plus 400. Green plus 250. Purple plus 1400. And then red and clear are both plus 300.
Red.
Right?
Yeah, it's got to be. Both teams are red.
It has to be red.
Yeah.
I think it has to be red.
Which means they're going to get us. So give me something that's around 1,000.
Well, so blue and orange are
What's
plus
10 to 1.
Blue and orange are plus 400, and the next up is purple is 1,400.
No, I'm going red.
You going red?
Yeah, red.
Still going red. I like that. This is a national anthem. We can bet against each other in this one again. The length is 2 minutes and 1 second. The under is minus 155. The over is plus 155.
Who's singing it again?
Jennifer Lopez? No. She's doing the. Is she doing the halftime show?
I hope so.
National
really?
Anthem. She's doing the halftime show.
Jeff, you know that. Jeff Platt, you're in the chat. Who's doing the halftime show or singing the national anthem? Jeff knows this stuff. He knows all these singers.
Oh, Demi Lovato.
It's probably fucking Celine.
Demi Lovato was doing it.
Who?
Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato. Okay, that doesn't help me. I mean, whatever. I'll go for the over. How do I? You're not betting an under on the national anthem. I want to hear them out there for as long as possible.
You want to hear the full thing?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then what else do we have here? Oh, my God. There's wardrobe bets. There's Jennifer Lopez bets with regards to... Oh, it's Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. First song performs. There's a long list. They're together.
Jennifer Lopez and Shakira are on stage together?
I know. It's going to be tremendous.
Oh, my God. This is literally like 2000 all over again.
I know, it is.
Wow.
Let's Get Loud is plus 300 to be the opening song, along with On the Floor. Same one. Living It Up is plus 500. Dinero plus 600. Waiting for Tonight If You Have My Love. I mean, there's a lot of classics.
What is the whatever?
It's plus 250.
That's the one I want.
Plus 250, that one? I kind of wanted Jenny from the Block plus 1200.
Not doing that song. They can't do a song about yourself.
Yeah, of course they can.
Oh,
Jennifer Lopez.
What is this, poker Twitter?
She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
All right, there's a lot of scoring props, a lot of dumb shit to bet on. I'll probably lose $500 betting on these different things. Brent's got the Chiefs. I probably will bet on the Chiefs as well.
Is that the show? Well, you're Sharpco. You're the one that's got all the connections now in the sports world.
We're waiting for the lines to
for
develop.
The lines? Okay, What is the line right now, by the way? We didn't go over this.
I don't even know. I think it was still -1.
I just love the Chiefs. I didn't even know the line.
Yeah, I think it was -1, but
I love the Chiefs. If it's even money or -1, I don't care what it is.
Closing out the show on this note.
Yeah.
Producer John is furiously beating on the glass for us to mention that the Big Blind received a nomination for the Globe Poker Awards.
There it is.
We want everyone to be picketing.
That's the one award I would have happily talked about. I really enjoyed that show.
Go door to door to let the people know that the Big Blind needs to win the award for Media Content of the Year in the video department. Also, in that same category, Legends of the Game, Stu Unger.
Yes.
Nadir Aslam, John Bovenizer. You were involved in that too, right? Had some.
I helped out a little bit, yeah, but I wasn't behind the scenes nearly as much. Like the Big Blind, I felt a part of it. You know, yeah.
But you weren't on camera, thank God. You're behind the scenes, as it should be. And then there's two more nominations in that same category. Who Makes Money from Professional Poker? This is a CNBC piece by this guy named Sam Riga. And then Investigating Mike Postlehand Histories from Stones Live. Probably about 17 hours worth of content.
Oh, my God, he's got to be like a 10-1 favorite.
I think so. Handicap this field for me.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the CNBC article as dead last.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I'd make that about a plus 1,500.
Okay.
I would go, God, this is close. I would go the Big Blind plus 300.
Okay.
I would go Legends plus 500, and I would go Joey Ingram as a 2-1 favorite.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah,
I think that's right. There were tons of people involved with the Big Blind. Jeff Platt, of course, did a great job hosting that show. There were tons and tons of people involved that played on that show. The episode that was nominated because you had to submit one specific episode was the one with Mike Madison, Norman Chad, and Sarah Herring. But we just want to let you guys know you can find all this stuff on demand on PokerGo right now. Trust me.
Oh, Drew Amato's angry because he likes these awards too.
Oh, Drew Amato.
He's got a photo.
He's playing golf in Australia. He's not even.
He took a picture and it's a nice one.
He's not even involved.
Give everyone a fucking cookie.
All right, guys. This was the Poker Central podcast. If you are listening to us, please know this is also on YouTube. If you're watching this, please know this is also an audio show. So if you can't catch us live, you can always catch us on demand. For Brent Hanks, my name is Remko. This was the Poker Central podcast.